So, hey, Kingsley, where are you this week?
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, where are you, friend?
Okay, I'm going through the emotions, and something underneath me is tired. I'm seeing that a lot of this exhaustion I'm feeling, it's coming from me. The realization was in itself almost funny. I thought my burnout was coming from working too hard, but I realized that it's actually from not ever allowing myself to be enough, right? There's always this voice in my head that keeps moving the goalposts. Once I achieve something, I'm looking up for another thing, and I'm looking up for another thing. So I'm always trying to reach out for something new instead of, pausing or waiting. And it's becoming so exhausting for me. The burnout is making me unable to operate even within the things that I have found myself to like, or the things that I wanted to do. I no longer want to do them while still trying to look for newer things to do. So it's been a bit of a struggle for me.
Yeah. Kingsley, I love what you shared there. And you're hitting on something that I think is so key. So many of us believe that burnout is that we're just simply doing too much with too little resources. We're spread too thin. We use that kind of language. And the truth is, I believe that our burnout and our exhaustion comes from what you just said, not being aligned with our truest selves, or we're trying to align with somebody else's expectations of who they think we should be.
I'm not sure that is exactly what I'm saying.
Okay. Say more.
I feel like I am forcing myself to be a high achiever, right?
Yeah.
Trying to do a lot of things. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. So maybe it is what you said. But here's the thing. We grow up where we grow up hearing things like there is no food for lazy man, right? And that saying did something to an entire generation of us. It led us to believe, we believe that rest is laziness.
Right.
That slowing down means falling behind. So we continue doing, and we feel sometimes I even feel guilty for breaking down. And
it's so funny because, like, you're right, Kingsley, what you just said, in your culture, a lazy man has no food. In our culture, right, my grandmother would say, idle hands are the devil's workshop.
They beat that into us too. That's the other thing they keep saying.
Right. And so, the truth of the matter is that actually sets us up to buy off on one of the oldest lies that exist out there. And the lie is, I am what I do. So I am what I do. So I have to constantly be on the move.
Sometimes, are we not? Right. Are we not a reflection of the things we chose to do, or the people we surround ourselves with, or the kind of activities we like to do? For example, if I love writing, am I not a writer?
Well, that is a role that you take.
Oh.
A role. You are a son. You are a brother.
Right.
These are roles that we live into, right? You're a marketing specialist. You're a poet. These are all roles that we have. But we are so much more than our roles. We are so much more than what we do. We are so much more than what other people think or believe about us. We're so much more than what we have or possess. I have value, and you have value, my friend, just because you exist.
Right.
Nothing more. If you didn't do anything, Kingsley, you would still have immense value. You're not buying it.
No. if I didn't do anything, okay, how does that make me valuable? Right? We are expected to contribute to society in some kind of way, right? So how am I valuable if I'm not doing anything to contribute to society? Just by I feel like it's tongue in cheek now.
I love it. Kingsley, I love your honesty because you always push back, right? Like, so think about this. Like, so of course I'm going to come at this kind of through my Christian lens, right? And so, right, look at the birds in the fields. How much does the Father love these birds in the field? And yet they don't do anything other than just be a bird. They hunt, they peck around on the ground. They feed their young. They feed themselves. They meet the requirement of like life, right? And they bring joy. I have bird feeders. They bring joy into my life. They bring joy into my life because they're just being a bird. They're flying around. They're feeding their babies, right? They have value. How much more valuable are you than a little sparrow outside or the flowers blooming in the field?
I'm a little speechless there because that used to be my favorite Bible portion. So consider the least of the fields and how they grow. Right? So yeah, I don't know. It's like you're nailing me there with that one.
Oh, I'm sorry. But for me, it's so true. I spent a whole life, Kingsley. I spent most of my life hooking my identity into what I did. A Division I swimmer, corporate HR person, a mom, a wife. But what happens when those things fall away? What happens when you get divorced? What happens when you can't run any longer? What happens when you can't swim? What happens when you can't perform anymore? Are you a nobody? And I think that's what happens to so many of us. We lose our identity in the things that we do or what other people say about us or the possessions that we have. And it's not true. And that's what burnout is, when we're living out of alignment with who we truly are or the vision that we have for our life or the values that we say are important, how we want to do life with other people. That's the root cause of burnout and exhaustion.
I think for me is how to separate it, because sometimes, and this might be a cause of some of the sadness I have felt, because sometimes I'm like, is this all there is, right, to my life, right? Am I going to just be this person who works hard, who works tirelessly and then goes to sleep the next day, repeats? Is that all there is? No, there's this image of the hardworking Nigeria that we've been painted, right? That we always figure things out. You don't need therapy. You don't need any break. You don't need to complain. You just push through. And this is something that we buy into naturally, right? That you are either working or you are weak, right? And so I am still trying and unable to separate the fact that you can choose to pause and still be valuable, right? Yeah, I'm not even talking about the whole you saying that you can decide to do it nothing. Like that's like a stretch for me.
Too
Yeah,
much.
no,
Yes.
that's too much. But
Yeah.
yeah, if I decide to pause, am I still valuable? I'm still trying to
Yeah.
separate this, considering, yeah.
So here's what I would say, Kingsley. When you are writing poetry, when you're creating something, when do those moments of creativity, where do they emerge from?
Is that a trick question?
No, not really. It's not a trick question. Where do you, like, where for you
Yeah.
does your greatest writing, poetry, spoken word, where does that come from?
So for me, most of my inspiration come from the things I'm going through, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah, so my environments, the people, my interactions with people,
Yeah.
both in the way they treat me and in the way I treat them. So I just like to share, those moments in poetry. So yeah.
So don't those moments, in order for you to have clarity about, well, what is it that I want to say, do you have to kind of like slow down and give yourself some space to think about what you want to say?
Of course. Right now, I am in a writer's block, right? And all I'm doing is just watching, looking at things, and then yeah. So it for me it requires a lot of space. Oh my god, yeah. Don't do that to me.
And there it is. And there it is, Kingsley.
Yeah, it does. It requires a lot of having to pause. And not doing anything. So
Right.
So I've been lazy too.
Oh, why is it lazy? The creative work, right? Creating a space that will hold something that reflects us outwards, right? Whether you're a spoken word, whether you write poetry, whether you're an artist, those things, the ideas, the concepts come from deep within us. Whether you want to call it your inner voice, the voice of God, the muse. Some people kind of call their creative force a muse, right?
The muse, yeah.
Right? That emerges when we get quiet and create a space for it to bubble out from us, from within. And so, people from the outside, it looks like nothing's happening. Looks like nothing's going on. And the reality is there's a lot going on. There's a lot going
you know what? I once attended a writer's retreat where we were not expected to talk to people or do anything for the whole day just so we can write in the middle of the night. And when I in the first hour, I was like, what's happening? Why is no one talking? What is happening here? Right? It was so insane.
Yes.
That people would come together without having to talk to each other, right? They are in the same space.
Yep.
They are looking at, maybe catching each other's glimpses once in a while, but you're not talking. Are we here to just lazy around and, pretend that we are waiting for some news, right? But out of that retreat came, I think, 7 poems.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it was brilliant. I'm retracing my steps. Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
But my concern is still boils down to the question of, because for me, I don't know that just staying silent is enough. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to pause and I drift away, right? Yeah, and sometimes I forgot that I was supposed to pause. I go in to do other things.
Yeah.
And by the time I'm catching myself, it's already time to do another thing,
Another
right?
thing,
So
yeah.
because I feel that the reason for this might be that I haven't realized why exactly I need the pause. I do get it with poetry, right?
Yeah.
And it's not that when I'm pausing to write poetry, I'm not doing anything, right? I'm working,
Yes.
I'm running, I'm cooking, I'm doing other things. But just pausing for the sake of pausing, not doing anything, I'm still trying to separate that.
Yeah. So just like creating space for something creative to emerge, if we're really about transforming our lives, then the first step is always being willing to actually really embrace our lives. What is going on in this moment? And so being 100% present to this moment is what pausing allows us to do. Because so often, right, we get spun up in the stories in our head. Pausing, and being right here helps us get out of that infinite loop of the story going on in my head. Well, my mom's going to think I'm lazy if I'm not doing anything, or my friends are going to think I'm lazy if I'm not doing anything. But when we stop, we are actually creating a space for a different story around who we are and who we want to become, and the vision we want to live into, and how we want to live with each other. The pause gives us an opportunity to ensure that we're coming into an alignment. And when we're in alignment, we can be working super hard and we'll never get burned out because there's such joy in being in alignment, right?
Right.
So that's how you get out of this kind of burnout and exhaustion loop. Pause.
Okay, I think I'm sold on the idea of pausing. Yeah. Yeah, but I do have a question.
Okay.
What do you do when you're pausing?
Right? Am I just sitting there going
into space or just looking? Doing the yoga pose, right?
Right.
Because I've always felt like, I'm not doing that.
Right?
I'm not doing that.
No, I'm kind of with you. I don't either. I've tried doing it. It just doesn't work for me.
It hasn't.
Right? It could be any number of things, actually, that can help you to pause and just be present with this moment, right? Like, so one of my favorite things is just to stop, pause, take a deep breath in for like 4 seconds, hold it for 2, and then let it out for like 6 to 8 seconds. So inhale, pause, and then let it out. Because any practice that helps kind of, I like the term ground you, bring you back to this moment. It could be anything. It could be walking outside and taking time to look at the wildlife in front of you, a bird, a flower, and just being right there in that moment, right? Walking away from the computer. It can be as simple as just stepping outside and taking a deep breath and seeing what's going on in the street in front of you, right? There's so many just simple practices, right? The one that you and I talked about a few weeks ago, right? Find 5 things that you see with your eyes, 4 things that you hear, right? 3 things that you take, or right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like so many different practices. Just find one that works for you. Sometimes I just go for a walk, like just a short walk, 5 minutes out, 5 minutes back, just to remind myself I'm right here. Yeah.
So for my last question, are we saying that pausing is one of the ways to, I don't know if this is the right usage, get rid of burnout? Because I'm looking for sweet solution.
Right,
A
right.
play solution.
Right. So I love that, because that's what we do, right? If the problem is burnout, then what's the solution, right?
Yes.
Problem isn't really a burnout. Burnout is not really a problem. Burnout is like a little warning light. It's a little warning light.
Being a problem.
It's not a problem. Being burned out, being depressed, right? Being exhausted. These are warning lights that perhaps we're living out of alignment with who we really are. So it's not a problem to be solved. It's that indicator, that an invitation to pay attention to what's going on.